Dinosaurs. When we were kids growing up, we were basically told that these creatures of prehistoric times were some of the most amazing creatures ever to live. From the mighty T-Rex to the legendary Triceratops and more, dinosaurs filled our imaginations and the imaginations of many in Hollywood with wonder as we all thought about what it would be like to live in their time. But the thing that we don't necessarily learn is that they weren't alone in their time in many ways, and some of the animals that lived alongside them were, well, far more terrifying. Allow us to show you the animals that were scarier than dinosaurs. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 4. Sarcosuccus. Existing at around 112 million years ago, the Sarcosuccus is affectionately known as the super croc, not the least of which is that this entity was double the size of most modern crocodiles, coming in at about 40 feet long. Now there is a single problem with that nickname though, as it isn't actually a crocodile. It's a relative of them though, just not a direct one, which might explain why they aren't around anymore in the form of descendants, while more mainline crocodiles are. They weren't just long, they were heavy, and they weighed 8 metric tons. The very first fossils of the creature were actually found in the Sahara Desert during an expedition by Albert Félix de la Parente, a French paleontologist between 1946 and 1959. Then in 1964, a complete skull of them was discovered. Yet it wasn't until the year 2000 when enough bones had been found to give scientists a better picture of exactly what they were looking at. And what they were looking at was a truly terrifying monster of prehistoric times that we should all be grateful doesn't exist on this planet anymore. Number 3. The Megalodon. The Megalodon is what you might call a super shark, as it was basically 3 times as big as the infamous great white shark and twice as mean and aggressive. The fossils found of the Megalodon state that it could grow up to 60 feet in length, but others believe it could actually grow even larger. This creature was the true apex predator of the oceans and only had a very limited set of rivals that could challenge it. One of the reasons being was that not only was it large, but it had teeth to rip through just about any creature out there in the water. But what's strange about this beast is that when it got hungry, really hungry, it wouldn't hesitate to kill one of its own brethren to get food. It's believed that because of its size, the Megalodon would need to eat about 2 tons of food a day, which meant that at times it had to resort to cannibalism in order to stay fed. When are you willing to eat your own kind to survive? I mean, that's just terrifying. Number 2. Terror birds. There were many birds in the skies in the ancient world, and some of them were so big that they were known as terror birds. These were large, flightless birds that existed on Earth for about 61 million years. They range from 3 to 9 feet in height and actually were the largest apex predator in South America during their lifespan. Their bodies were very mismatched, for they had very large heads, and their necks appeared short, but they were actually very long and flexible. This allowed them to deal massive damage to their foes when they struck, which they could do with impressive speed. And when you have a bird that tall and able to use its body to kill with great speed, come on, that's scary. Number 1. Dunkleosteus. The Dunkleosteus was a fish that is so terrifyingly strong it might have had a bite that was more powerful than anything on Earth, both before or since. Part of the reason for its power is the fact that this fish was armored from top to bottom, which would add to its mass and weight, thus allowing more biting power. A power that is believed to exert 1,300 pounds per square inch of force. However, that is not the limit of its power, for that is just the measurement they use to figure out how the power of the tip of the tooth, its full mouth strength is unknown, but it has been guessed at 1,600 pounds. The Dunkleosteus were the apex predators of their habitat in their time period. There were even many species of them, with the largest of them growing to 33 feet in length, and they weighed 4 tons. But no doubt each species was terrifying and terrifyingly powerful in their own right. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at the creatures that lived alongside dinosaurs but were far scarier than them? Do you agree that these were scarier creatures? Which ones do you feel were the scariest of the bunch? Let us know in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe, and we will see you next time on the channel.